clicker for the presentation, so please excuse the excessive spacebar noises. I'll be speaking on behalf of Group Lima about our Pebble Jogging Hazard Warning app, or Watch Out for short. The premise is simple. We have runners that want to run, and they want their runs to be problem-free. So we created a platform to allow runners to help other runners avoid risk of diversion, interruption, or even injury. The basic idea was to use a smartphone and smartwatch to provide a way to make running more enjoyable and safer. We did this through the use of alerts to warn users when they come too close to a hazard to raise their awareness so they don't get caught out while in the zone. There's three main components to our system: the Pebble app, the Android app, and the server and database. The Pebble app provides the immediate and seamless interaction with the hazards. It vibrates to notify a user when they come too close to a hazard, providing a short descriptive message. The user then has a choice to either acknowledge that they have seen the hazard or dismiss to say that the hazard wasn't seen. This information is used later to sanitize and maintain the database information. At any time, the user can go into the hazard menu and choose from a list of new hazard options to report a hazard. And we did this with just the 4 buttons provided on the Pebble. If the Pebble were our eyes and ears, the Android app is the brain of the system. Before the run, we see a map like many other running apps showing the current location, with a button to center our location as well as a button to start our run. And this is also where existing hazards are pre-downloaded and displayed, just providing some quick information to allow the user to roughly plan out where they might want to go. During our run, the phone is constantly doing distance calculations, assessing which hazards are of close proximity and sending them to the Pebble when the user comes too close. After our run is over, we get a series of review screens for all of the new hazards we've reported, with the ability to add a description, followed by a button to upload them in batch to the server. The server and database securely stores all of the hazard information and facilitates the request and update of them. It also uses the acknowledgements and dismissals provided by the user to update the hazard expiry dates, depending on witnesses, and it also archives old hazard data. Here are some screenshots of it in action. The default map screen with different icons representing different hazards. We can click on those icons to get some more descriptive information. This is a review screen for one of the new hazards we created. The default Pebble Watch screen with a button to create a new hazard on the lower right. And this is the hazard menu with the list of options for our new hazards. Some issues we faced when creating the app. The Pebble SDK is apparently awful. I wouldn't know, I was in charge of the server. The Android team also had a few headaches dealing with version compatibility issues, particularly dealing with the differences in permissions behavior, leading to seemingly unnecessary amounts of code. The Pebble developer also faced some concurrency issues. I don't know exactly what they were, and I'm not sure he did either, but we got things working. Some API compatibility issues, leading to some restrictions and complications in how we write Pebble code. And finally, Pebble SDK is still awful. To round up and talk about some possible future improvements. We'd like the app to be developed for other smartwatches and smartphones. Things like the Apple Watch and various Android Wear watches out there come to mind. The Android app should cover a significant number of smartphones, but of course there are iPhone users just waiting to get their grubby hands on our app, me included. We'd like to allow the app to run in the background while the phone is sleeping, which is more feasible for those longer distance runs. Our support for user-defined hazard is quite primitive at the moment, so we'd like a more sophisticated way of dealing with those. And we'd like to introduce the concept of users and a reputation-based contributor system to credit helpful runners as well as help the prevention of abuse. And finally, utilize some health API information to make a more wholesome and fully featured fitness app. Thanks for listening.